Alright guys, now this is what you call a GPU mining rig. And if you watch to the end of this video, you're going to learn how to build yourself one as well. We're utilizing the H10 Pro BTC motherboard, which can take 13 GPUs. And we're using the Hive OS software.
There's no one that can match me.
Yo, what's goody? It's FA Crypto Barber, listening to the GOAT grooving out. To my friends in the field, stupendous. But yo, today we gonna be talking about how to build this mining rig. You feel me? I know I've been gone for a little bit, but I'm back, like Drake said. But I'm going. Alright, so for beginners, right? We're gonna need to we're definitely gonna need to start out with like your motherboard. What kind of motherboard you gonna be building this thing on? Most motherboards can take like two GPUs. Let me put this volume down though, cause your boy ain't trying to keep banging. You heard me? But yeah, most motherboards can take two GPUs, but guys, if you're really trying to get to this bag, if you're really trying to maximize your profitability, you obviously want to get a motherboard that can handle multiple GPUs. So a motherboard that I'm using is the ASRock H10 Pro BTC. This is what it looked like. You can find it on Amazon. H10 Pro, and I like this motherboard because it could take 13 GPUs. You feel me? And you could do your research. You don't got to get the exact same one, but if you're trying to maximize your profits, you obviously want to get a motherboard that can handle multiple GPUs. And we talked in the previous episodes. GPU stands for what? Graphic Processing Unit, right? When it comes down to GPU mining, you need GPUs, right? So the GPUs that I have here are all 30 series. There's a whole bunch of different kind of GPUs, right? You got your 10 series, your 20 series, and your 30 series. 30 series, you know, those 3060s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. I like these cards. NVIDIA, they're all made by NVIDIA. You know, you just get a lot of hash, right? Hash is an important term you're going to have to try to remember. Hash, H-A-S-H. Your hash is what also is going to determine your profitability. And I'm looking at this goddamn water bottle on the ground over there. Let me grab that real quick. That shit is kind of throwing me off. Yeah, maybe that means I need some water, right? All right, so your hash is going to determine your profitability, right? Right. All right. So I have a 3090 here. We got 3070s. I have a 3080. That's actually right over there, hung up. And I like the 30 series cards because, you know, you usually get starting with the 3070s, you usually average about 60 hash. 3080, you get about 100 hash. 3090, you get about 120 hash. Then you have your 20 series cards. I don't really know what the hashes are on those, but my whole thing is this. I mentioned that the H10 Pro motherboard can take 13 GPUs, right? Why use or take up one of the 13 slots with a weak ass card that's only giving you 10 hash, right? It's all about maximizing your profitability, right? We don't want to we don't want to be wasting any energy, right? We only got 13 spots, so you might as well maximize. If I could get all 30 90s, which is giving me 120 hash, I would, but I'm not a baller yet. I'm trying. All right, moving on. So in order to power your GPUs, you're going to need something called a riser, right? I got these risers off of Amazon. You got your riser. This is where your GPU connects to. And then you have your PCIe cable, and this part of the cable connects to your motherboard. All right. And then you have your SATA cable that comes on your riser, and you're going to use your power supply to power this thing up, which is yeah. And pretty much these guys are essential because this is what's telling your motherboard that your GPU is connected, right? This is what, without this, your motherboard will not be able to detect your GPU. So you're gonna need risers, and depending on how many GPUs you get, being that I have 9 GPUs here, I'm gonna need 9 risers, right? We're gonna need 9 PCIe cores. Cool. Oh crap, man! Thank God that's in the bag, and I have extras. You're obviously also going to need these are called DDR4 RAM sticks, and you're going to need this as well. You're going to need to connect these to the motherboards. On the previous episodes, I show you guys how to click them on, and it makes a nice little snap sound. 2 DDR4 goes right there, and your CPU as well, right? You don't got to go too crazy with the CPU either. I'm using an i7 core CPU. You can get away with an i3 or i5. The most important thing is make sure whatever motherboard you're getting is compatible with, whatever CPU you're getting is compatible with your motherboard. Cool. So we talked about DDR4 RAM sticks. We talked about your CPU, right? I showed you in episode 2 where those items go, how to apply your thermal paste. Cool. We talked about the risers. Now, we're obviously going to need something to power all this shit up, right? So you're going to need power. I would recommend go hard or go home, right? Maximize, maximize, maximize. And if you're going to get a motherboard that's utilizing multiple GPUs, you're going to need a battery that can power up multiple GPUs. I have a 1600 watt battery here, right? This thing comes with 9 VGA ports. Most GPUs either require 2 8-pins or 3 8-pins, right? Like for example, this 3090 takes 3 8-pins. And if I only have 9 VGA ports, that technically means I can only power 3 3090s for a 1600 watt battery, right? Or if a 3070, for example. These bad boys take 2 8-pins, right? And you wanna, okay, with this one, I'm using 1 cord, right? But I would not suggest only using 1 power cable to power up your GPUs. You can get away with it, right? You can get away with it, especially if you are just trying to, power as many GPUs as possible. But I would strongly suggest you give your GPUs you give them more than enough power. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is, if you see 2 8-pins, give it 2 individual cords. All right. Being that I have 9 GPUs and I'm trying to fit as many GPUs as possible. All right, cool. I can get away with powering it with 1, but once I get more power, I'll definitely be putting 2 8-pins on here instead of just trying to get by with just 1. But it will work. All right, it will work, guys. But you wanna respect your GPUs. You want to give it enough power, and you don't want to have any difficulties or technical difficulties in the future, right? Overheating or anything like that. And I've noticed in my time mining that when you are giving the GPUs more than enough power, you're respecting the GPUs, you don't got no issues. Okay, so cool. Power, right? I actually have 2 1600 watt batteries here. Shout out to Misfit Mining, by the way. I would strongly suggest you guys join this Discord. You can learn a lot more about mining, way better explained than I can. But I'm just trying to give it to you guys raw. You heard me. Alrighty. And yeah, being that I have 2 power supplies, guys, I'm using this thing called a PSU splitter. This splitter connects to the motherboard, and then you're able to connect 2 power supplies on here, so that when I turn on the device, when I turn on the rig, everything turns on at the same time, rather than only connected them individually and using, they have these things called ATX dummies, right? And you can pretty much trick your power supply into thinking it's connected to a motherboard, right? You can buy these things off of Amazon too. They are called 24-pin power supply dummies, pretty much. And it tricks your power supply into thinking that it's connected to a motherboard, but it's not. It just, you know, tricks it to turning on. But I wouldn't do that because, I don't know, it's just better to just have everything in sync. So get yourself a PSU splitter. Cool? Cool. All right. And again, the PSU splitter keeps everything in sync so that you're not individually turning on one power supply and then having to turn on another power supply and then having a... Okay, I hope you're following me. Cool. Now, we talked about the risers. We talked about your DDR fucking RAM sticks. We talked about the CPUs. We talked about GPUs and the different type of GPUs you can get. And remember, maximize, maximize, maximize. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is don't get no cheap ass, weak ass GPUs out here taking up PCIe lanes, right? If you only have 2 or 4 or 6 or 13, you might as well get the most bang for your buck. Don't be getting no 20s, 10 series. Granted, depending on what you're mining, and you're going to see guys online, oh, I love my 10 series cards and they're more efficient. All right. The type of miner I am, man, I'm trying to hit them like Mayweather. You feel me? I'm coming hard with them hashes, right? Each one of my cards, for example, right? None of my cards here are giving me less than 60 hash. None of them. And I don't plan on getting any card that's giving me less than 60 hash, right? Because I'm trying to maximize my profits, right? We going hard. We going in. Now, lastly, guys, before we transition to the next part of this video, I want to talk about your storage, right? Your space. And I don't have my SSD. I thought I did. I don't know where it's at. But you're gonna need either a USB or an external drive where you're going to flash the software that you're going to be using to mine. And I'll show you guys that when we transition out of this segment of the video. And the software is called Hive OS. You're going to be using a program called Etcher, right? And Etcher is the program you're going to use to flash the Hive OS software onto the USB external drive or an SSD. And let me see if I can find an SSD for you so I can show you guys what an SSD looks like. I thought I had it laying here, but I don't. But again, the software is called Hive. Oh, I got it. All right, cool. Yeah, this is what an SSD looks like, right? So either your SSD, this is a 2 terabyte SSD, either a 500 gig external drive, or I'm using a simple, how many gigs is this? A simple, I think this is like 30 gigs or 15 gigs. Usually it says it on the card, but it doesn't. 64 gig, all right? A 64 gig USB stick, right? You're gonna flash the Hive OS software onto here, plug it up to your motherboard, the H10 Pro, and this is gonna tell, you're running this off of Linux. And long story short, you're gonna register and create an account on Hive OS on your computer. And I'll explain it a little bit more when we segment out of this. But guys, these are just some of the essential parts you are going to need to start mining, right? You can mine Bitcoin, you can mine Ethereum, you can mine Shiba Coin, you can mine whatever the hell your heart desires, right? But before you can mine it, you got to assemble all this shit, right? We're going to put it together. I'm going to show y'all how, right? And we're going to do this while listening to some Biggie the GOAT. I wonder what song's playing now. And yeah, we trying to get to this bag. You feel me? So join me. Like the page. We're going to talk a little bit more too about power, right? How you can use these things called splitters, right? These are 6 to 8 pin splitters. But again, I would not recommend it. But if you're trying to get by, go ahead and get yourself some 8 to 8 splitters. If you're trying to maximize how many GPUs you can connect to your power supply. I don't know if you have an 800 watt or whatever. I get it. I was there. But you're better off just going big and getting a 1600 watt. All right. I don't want to overload you guys too much in the beginning of this video, but let's transition. You heard me.
Alright guys, so I know we talked briefly about some of the hardware you're going to need to start mining, such as the motherboard and the GPU and the PSU, the power, and your RAM sticks and some of the other parts that you're going to need. But there's also a software aspect to all of this. So go ahead and open up your Google. I'm going to show you the software that I personally use and that I would recommend, called Hive OS. OS standing for operating system. And this is the software you're going to be using to start mining cryptocurrency, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum or Dogecoin or whatever coin you want, or whatever's listed on the Hive OS. But again, you first need to install this software. So go ahead and click install. You're going to scroll down to GPU, and you're going to download the zip file, right? You're going to click on zip. I already have this downloaded, so I'm not going to re-download it. And again, you're going to download the zip file onto your external drive or your SSD or your USB, right? And we're going to be doing this with the help of Balena Etcher, right? And Balena is what's pretty much the middleman in terms of getting the Hive OS software onto your external drive or your USB or your SSD, right? We're going to be flashing that software onto your device. So go ahead and download Balena. You're going to go to the website and click download. I already have it downloaded as well. And once you have it downloaded, this is what it looks like. And after your zip file is done being downloaded from the Hive OS website, you're going to locate it by clicking flash from file. You're going to locate it on your computer. You're going to open that up. You're going to select target, and I have my 500 gig external drive connected on, and you are going to select it, and then you're going to flash it. Just make sure, again, if you are using a USB stick, make sure that your USB at least has 64 gigs on there, and make sure that there's nothing on there that's really important to you. And you're going to click flash. It's going to ask you if you're sure that you want to download it, and yeah, you're going to click yes, and that should take a few minutes, anywhere between 15 and 30 minutes. So while that's flashing onto the device, you're going to go back to the Hive OS website, and you're going to register and create an account. Alright, so after you're done creating an account, you are now going to create your worker. You have your worker here, and you're going to go on to add rig, add to rig. You're going to click right here, install Hive to your rig drive. I'm using Linux, or if you have a MacBook or using Windows, go ahead. You're going to find a file. And actually, I'm really liking Hive, man. And guys, I love Hive OS. Another reason why I love it is because you can download the software you can download it from your app store on your cell phone, whether if you have a iPhone or Android. And again, yeah, you'll be able, after you register, obviously, you can remotely access your rig from any country or any state. While you're away, you can check on your overclocks, and I just really love it. So yeah, I'm guessing this is really just gonna have me do everything all over again. Wow, things have changed in the last few years. But yeah, it's asking you to download Balena, connecting your USB or your USB, and again, you're gonna download this rig file, and After obviously the software is flashed to your USB, right? So now you should have HiveOS in your external drive. You're going to then register your account as stated before, and yeah, create your farm, select your worker, and you're going to download this rig file here. And you're literally going to copy and paste this file. I don't want to open it here, but you're going to copy and paste that file onto your USB stick, right, onto the Hive. And pretty much once you connect that to your rig, you are going to be ready to go. Again, it's going to add it to the HiveOS drive root folder. All right, guys, you're going to add it to that root folder and open it up, and there's some it's pretty self-explanatory from there, guys.
Alright guys, we're about to set this all up. We got 9 GPUs here, and we're going to be setting it all up on this steel rack here that I got off of Home Depot. It's about 40 bucks. And we're going to be utilizing these clips that I purchased off of Misfit Mining. Again, I would encourage you guys to join this Discord group where you can learn more about GPU mining and just ask any questions on the chat on there. And it's a free Discord group, and it's pretty dope. It's a whole bunch of nerds just trying to make money off of cryptocurrency and mining. So without further ado, let's set up this miner rig. I'm going to be again using the 1600 watt battery. We're going to place this next to the motherboard so that we got easy access to the PCIe lanes. And yeah guys, we're going to set this bad boy up. Bam, we got our motherboard right here. Cool. And yeah, let's see. So again, remember, we're going to attach the risers to our GPUs. We have a 3070 here, and unlock and lock. Gonna snap that bad boy right in there, like so. Make sure it's locked. And we're just gonna hang this bad boy up, like so. I'm gonna put this one right next to this 3080 here. This 1, 2. Might as well just set them all up. And make sure it's locked and loaded. All right. You know what? Set this one back here. Actually, let's put these two 3070s side by side. Do this 3080 over here, like that. So yeah, we got 3 GPUs already set. And I'm gonna have all the PCIe cables going in from the back. All right, 2. All right, let's move this up a little bit so you guys can see. And I'm gonna start attaching these things soon. We got our 3090 here. This already has the riser and the PCIe lane already on there. And this is an open air style case, guys. So this is gonna have enough. Keep the open air style, keeps everything nice and air. You know, you don't want those GPUs getting too hot, and having them open air style like this, you know, the fans are blowing. It's not like in a case, or it's not pretty much being suffocated. You want to have free flowing air. And this is why this this style is pretty popular. So yeah, we got our 4 GPUs right here. And let me just give you guys a quick example of how you connect your PCIe cords to the motherboard. Let's get behind this thing. Whoa. All right, guys. So we're gonna just connect this right here. We got one. We got two. Now, if you want to be extra safe, being that these things are pretty close to each other, you can wrap them with electrical tape. But I'm not doing that right now. They work just fine. But for guys that want to be extra cautious, you can always take that route. And I need to attach a PCIe lane to that. Look, this one's missing a Ryzen 30. Okay. So yeah, guys. And again, we're using 2 battery supplies. I'm gonna put the other battery on the left side of the motherboard. Our other 1600 watt battery is gonna go right over here. Okay. Definitely forgot to plug this to the 3080, so I'm gonna do that. I'm trying to do this like so. So yeah, guys, I'm just gonna literally repeat this process. I mean, you guys are just gonna sit tight and watch me do this, man. So there's no excuse why you can't do it. You feel me? So we are about to have, let's move these down a little bit. You know what? That makes 4. So we got 4 cords. I mean, we have 4. We're taking up 4 PCIe lane slots right now. We got a 3080 there, 3090, 3080, 3090, and 2 3070s. All right, and we're gonna be powering up our risers with SATA cables. All right, and it's good to use for every 2 SATAs, you want to be on 1 SATA cable. All right, so for every 2 risers, I mean, you want to be on 1 SATA cable. All right. All right, so we got 4 GPUs here, right? All right, so, and as I was saying, guys, this 3080 is utilizing 2 8 pins. So I'm going to use 2 VGA ports for 1 GPU, right? Because we want to make sure that we're giving each GPU more than enough power so that these things are running flawlessly. All right, this 3090, as you see here, the 3090 is utilizing 3 8 pins. So I'm going to use 3 separate power cables to power up this 3090. All right, so we're going to use 1, 2, and 3. Okay. All right. And then we got these 2 3070s here. I'm only using 1 cable to power up these 2 3070s. So we're gonna plug 1. I don't know if you guys can see that. Sorry about the wire management, guys, but yeah, you're getting a up close and personal view on how we're doing this. 1, 2. All right, so out of the 9 VGA ports, we're already utilizing 7, so we only got 2 left. All right, and I'm probably gonna stop there. There's another rule that is common. It's called the 80-20 rule. where you want to leave 20% of your battery supply available. So, you know, we're not like maxing it out, but I am going to be utilizing our SATA cables to power up the risers, as I mentioned earlier. All right. I don't know if you guys can see that where it says SATA. Bam. And remember, for every one SATA cable, we're going to power up 2 risers. If you could do 1, that's even better, but we're going to do 2. All right. So you're going to find that SATA port on your power supply, SATA 1. All right. And I'm just going to kind of move that towards the back. And I'm going to take another SATA cable. I got a whole bunch of them over here too. Okay. Now we're also going to need to power our motherboard, but we're going to do that on the other battery. SATA 1 and SATA 2. Okay. And don't worry about the wire management. You know what? While you guys are here, if you want, we're going to make this look a little bit more presentable. Take some Velcro. I'm going to hold these bad boys all together like so. And wrap that up. All right, so it looks a little bit more presentable. Like so. All right, so now we're going to go towards the back and we're going to power up those risers. As mentioned before, guys, let me put the camera down so you can see. You know what, we might need a little bit more light back here, so let me turn this on for you guys so you can see. Probably should have had this on already, but hey. We're going with the flow, guys. We're going with the flow for now. All right. Yeah, that's probably a lot better. Okay. Want you guys to see what's going on. You feel me? So again, for every 2 for every 2 risers, we're going to use 1 SATA cable. Right? Preferably, it's good to use 1 and 1, but 2 should be fine. All right. So 1, 2 for these 2 3070s, and 1 and 2 for the 13090 and the 3080. All right. Okay. So now we got 4 GPUs down, 5 more to go. So it's safe to say, guys, that I'm going to be powering 5 GPUs on the other power supply here. All right. So we have another 3070 here. I'm going to put that right here. 2. And remember, this motherboard can take up to 13 GPUs. Oh, this is a big boy right here. 6800. This is actually an AMD card. I actually lied to you guys. I don't have all NVIDIA cards. I do have 2 AMD cards. AMD is not bad. I don't know. I'm just in love with NVIDIA. All right. So we'll do 2 at a time. Oh, what the hell? I should have plugged up the damn risers first. All right, so let's do that. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, man. And then guess what? Once you're done capping out one motherboard, get another motherboard and repeat the same process. Okay. It's locked and loaded. to Misfit Mining for these clips, man. These clips are fire. All right. Again. So it's locked and loaded. Oh. 2. And remember, we're gonna tuck these PCIe links towards the back so that we can easily get to that motherboard. 1. 2. I am just, yeah, remember, try to be careful, but you don't gotta be a bitch about it. Trying to think right now about what haven't I told you guys yet. Also keep in mind about your hash rate. I believe the 6800s, you get about 60 hash rate for the 6800 XTs, which is not a bad hash rate, man. It's just as much as a 3070 NVIDIA. Hive OS is already downloaded onto our USB, and you just plug that up to the motherboard, turn that bad boy on. Let me show you guys. Set that bad boy towards the back. All right, and yeah, guys, look. So we got. Each one of these 6800 takes 2 8 pins. So I got, again, 2 power cords. All right, same thing with the 6800, 2 separate power cords. And then for this 3070, I'm actually using just 1. For this 3070, I'm using 2, you know. Yeah, try not to be a cheapskate about it. And for this bad boy, for this 3070, I'm actually using just 1 for this too. Just 1. All right, so let's go ahead and plug that up to the power supply. And then I'm gonna show you guys how to plug your ATX cords as well. Let's lower this light source so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So again, let's start off over here on VGA 9. We're gonna work our way backwards. All right, 3070 on and connected. And that one and that one. Okay, same thing with this guy. So guys, remember, you will see a slight increase on your electricity bill. And granted, profitability is a little low right now, but trust me, as the market starts to correct itself, you'll start to notice that your gains are a little more hefty. At one point, that was with like 8 GPUs. I was accumulating like 20 to 25 bucks, man, which wasn't bad. 25 bucks a day. And which was like easily like a 600 bucks coming in. And that's nothing compared to what these guys are doing in the crypto space. But, you know, passive income is key, man. Passive income is key, baby. All right, so all of our GPUs are now connected. Obviously, to power up your motherboard, you're going to need to power up the CPU as well. So go ahead and plug your CPU cable. I don't know if you guys can see there, but that is where the CPU cable connects. And you're going to locate on your battery where the CPU slot is, which is right here. So we're going to plug that up. And let's remember now that for every 2 GPUs, we'll be using 1 SATA cable for every 2 risers. So let's get our riser cables again. Let's see. So we got 1, we got 2, 3, 4. So we got 2 GPUs, 4 GPUs, and then we got to power our CPU fan with one of these bad boys too. No, I'm sorry, not a CPU fan. It's our cooler for the CPU, which is going to be utilizing 1, and then I guess I'll split that with the last GPU as well. So 2, 4, and then yeah, these 2 will go for the CPU and the last GPU. So we are gonna, that says peripheral. I need this thing to say SATA. Yeah. So that's SATA 1. I'll tuck that towards the back. SATA 2. Tuck that also towards the back. You know what? I'm going to power. I'm gonna use another SATA for. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna use the 1 battery to power the CPU cooler, and then we'll just leave that last GPU on its own SATA cable. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, we'll use this guy. We'll use 1 slot here. Yeah, we'll use this one. We'll keep this one to power up the cooler. Okay. As soon as I can find the cord for this. Where are you, buddy? Okay. Yep. Bear with me, guys. So again, we're using this hub here. We're gonna use this SATA cable. Gonna give it 1. All right. Okay, so that's nice and I'll run that one by itself. Try to spread that energy out. You feel me? Oh, and then I'm gonna grab another SATA cable. Yeah. That one will go for the last GPU. So we'll have 1 GPU here on 1 SATA by itself. All right. So let's go behind here and get this thing popping. Oh, I'm missing. Oh, guys, sorry about that. I'm bumping into things over here. God, we're on a GoPro right now, so it's okay if it gets hit, man. It's meant for that. You go underwater with this thing, so we Gucci. As you can see here, I'm doing this freehand. Make sure that thing is leveled. Jeez Louise. There we go. Yeah. All right, so let's get down and dirty and plug the rest of these risers in. Okay. All right, guys, without further ado, let's turn on this GPU mining rig. Again, all the cords are connected. PCIe lanes and risers are connected. We flashed the program onto the USB, and let's see if everything is detectable on the Hive OS. Let's go over to our monitor. All All right, looks like it was able to boot. See the ASRock logo. And yep, Hyper West is definitely flashed properly. And usually within the boot up, you're able to tell if all of the GPUs are connected. And we do have 9. All right, we have 7 NVIDIA cards connected here, and it should say 2 AMDs. Let's see. All right, and we have 2 AMD drivers. So yes, all 9 GPUs are being detected. And yeah, we gotta make sure our overclocks are all good, and we should be ready to rock and roll. So guys, I'll show you guys on the computer what the overclocks are looking like. And again, we are mining Ethereum. Yeah, man, let's check this baby out. You hear those fans running? That's money calling. That 3090, that 3080, 3070s, 6800s. They're all kicking. We got our 1600 watt battery supplies and our PSU splitters.
All right, guys. Hopefully you've successfully connected all of your GPUs to the power supply and the risers. Everything is connected. You've successfully flashed a program onto your USB or the SSD or your external drive, whichever you decided to use. And you can go ahead and start that motherboard up. And it should take you, obviously log back into your Hive OS, and it should take you to a screen like this. And you should be able to see all of your GPUs that you've connected and what hash rate each one is generating. So let's say, for example, obviously all of my cards here are already overclocked, guys. But I'm going to show you a cool website that you can go and check to see and to learn how to properly overclock your cards, which is Mining Chamber. Awesome website. Shout out to Mining Chamber. This is an awesome website. You're literally able to view every single card that's on the market right now and check on the overclock settings that you would need to use in order to boost your hash rate. Probably another 10, 20, 30, who knows? Because usually these cards come stock. For example, my 3090 was only giving me like a 25 hash rate compared to the 120 hash rate that it's supposed to give me once you have the proper overclock set. So again, visit miningchamber.com, find the GPU that you're using, and then scroll on down to the overclock settings, and it should tell you like so: power limit 330, core clock minus 200, memory clock. I would always recommend going lower first before going higher, 1200, because you want to keep that heat down, and your fan speed. And it also tells you right over here, if depending on what pool you're on. But to be quite honest with you, generally speaking, you should be getting about 120 hash. It doesn't matter what pool you're on. Obviously, hopefully these top two. But yeah, guys, go to Mining Chamber, overclock your GPUs, set those babies up. If you're interested, you literally click on this little tab right here on the right, and you literally just plug in core clock, memory clock, fan, power limit. We were just viewing that. Look, core clock, power limit, memory clock, etc. and etc. Plug that information in, scroll on down, click apply, wait a few minutes, refresh your page, and you should see your card adjusted with a higher hash rate. All right, guys, today is July 16th. We are mining Ethereum. I'm about at a 610 hash rate. And hey, man, today's not a bad day. We're accumulating about $12 today, $12, $13 today. Granted, the market is, a little wacky, but you know what? The whole purpose of this is not for short-term gains. We're looking at the long run, baby. And guys, I really hope you've made it this far in the video. Definitely give me a thumbs up and like this channel. Definitely subscribe. I hope you learned a lot in this whole video. I hope you made it this far. And guys, again, this is how you can learn to make a little bit of passive income for yourself in terms of generating cryptocurrency. And yeah, guys, have a great day, and I hope you guys definitely stay tuned for other videos. Peace.